Good Shabbos, Young Israel. I hope all are well and stay so. The well-known Gemara in the fourth parak of Brachos describes an incident in which Rabbi Gamliel insulted Rabbi Yoshua. Obviously, he had some reason, but nonetheless, the Chachamim took this as improper behavior, and Rabbi Gamliel was removed from his nesius, from his leadership position. Chacham then had deliberated who is to take the place, who should we appoint instead of Rabbi Gamliel. And at one point, Rabbi Yoshua was suggested. Rabbi Yoshua, however, was the protagonist. He was the Baal Maisa, and as such, the Chachamim concluded we can't have Rabbi Yoshua, who was the protagonist. He was the Baal Maisa, the one who was apparently insulted by Rabbi Gamliel, so it would be improper for him to assume Rabbi Gamliel's role, apparently based on concern that this would be too painful for Rabbi Gamliel to experience. Yes, Rabbi Gamliel had to be deposed, at least temporarily. The end, he came back partially, but to have Rabbi Yoshua step in and take his place, that was overkill. That wasn't necessary. So too explains the Meiri. The Psukim, in the aftermath of Korach and his henchmen being swallowed up. So the Psukim tell us that Vaydaber Hashem al Moshe leimar, Hashem commanded Moshe to ask Elazar ben Aaron HaKohen v'yoremes hamachtos mibein hasreifot. That's to ask Elazar, the son of Aaron, not the Kohen Gadol, not Aaron himself, to pick up the fire pans that it contained the Ketores the Aaron's was accepted, and that of Korach v'Adoso was not accepted. Their incest wasn't. To pick up those remaining fire pans, remove the incense, and take them and fashion them into coverings for the Mizbeach. It explains the Meiri why wasn't Aaron asked to remove the incense and to take the machtos, the fire pans, to form coverings of his back. Why did Elazar have to take the machtos? Why not Aaron? It explains the Meiri exactly the idea that we from this Gemara. Same idea, although Korach had to be deposed, like the Israeli army would say, neutralized, but to go ahead and then to add salt to the wound, to have the protagonist, have Aaron, against whom Korach rebelled, to have Aaron pick up those machtos, to take them away, that would have been too much. And as such, says the Meiri, Moshe Rabbeinu was commanded by God to ask Elazar to do so. Rabbi Gamliel was a tzaddik, Korach was a bad guy, but even so, apparently, that extra dig, once Korach is removed, once Korach receives his punishment, to go ahead now and to have the protagonist go and remove those machtos, so that's adding salt to a wound. That's not necessary. And even though Korach is bad, even though Korach was a rasha, apparently that extra dig, that unnecessary additional touch. So that's something that speaks poorly of one who would do so. That's not even the Moser Haskell, the moral of the story being that somebody has to be removed, a bad person, etc. But even such a person, even a person, a rasha, on the level of Korach, there is a sensitivity and there is basic decency maintained on the part of those rendering the judgment. Have a great Shabbos.